I'm going to ask you to fill in as much as you can already. Shannon is buying a computer that costs $1186 using the credit card. We're going to assume taxes included in this one. Just write it down. I will be specific when you write a test or something. I will tell you that that's the case, okay? And let's fill in the rest. She can afford regular payments of $125. So the regular payments, that's your PMT, right? $125 every month, and has 2 cards to choose from. Note, the annual fee is added to the first month's balance owing. What is the difference in interest paid between the 2 cards? Basically, you're going to try to find out which one is going to be the cheapest, which is going to cost me the least amount. So we're going to do card A, and we're going to do card B on this other side. So I hope you understand that this is going to be a TVM solver situation. So let's figure this out. I want you to fill in what you know. This also gets me to talk about the fee. What's that annual fee? Some credit cards charge you an amount every year. Most credit cards have no annual fees. But the ones that give you lots of bonuses, the ones that give you like these perks, maybe when you fly a lot, you get to stay in like these VIP lounges, right? Like those extra perks, they often do charge you a bit of a fee. So that's the case here. Card A charges you 8.9% compounded daily with an annual fee of $50. Card B has a different interest rate, compounded daily, and there's the annual fee of $25. Can you fill in card A and card B as much as you can on paper? So for card A, it's compounded daily. That's 365. That's another thing about credit cards. They do compound daily, which is not good for you. If you're borrowing money, you want the compounding periods to be as small as possible, right? Payments per year, we're making, what does it say here? Each month, right? We're contributing each month. So I'm going to go minus 125 under the payment. And so I read that it is monthly, so I go 12. Future value, we want it to be 0. Present value, it's $1186 because it's already taxes included. And watch this, there's an annual fee of $50. So in this case, we add the 50 to it. And that gives me $1236. I'm a strong advocate for showing what you're doing here. Show how you got that number. Don't just put 1236 in there, because right now it makes sense, but down the road it may not. This is 8.9. So the only thing left for us is to solve for n, correct? But Mr. Erickson, it never asks us for time, it never asks us for payments, right? And that's it with a credit card. You buy something, you make payments, you don't know how long it's going to take you, right? You're just going to make payments until it's 0. So let's find n. So sometimes I just tell students, fill in everything and see which one you don't know. There is 10.30. 895,516. I'm just going to write down the whole thing. It's asking me for interest. So can we figure out the interest that you've paid for this scenario here? Can I use sum of interest if n is decimal? Is that decimal? I can't. So I have to use this one. Interest. I'm not going to write down the formula. I'm just going to say it's 10.30. How should we approach this? I'm just going to round it to 90. I'm using 4 decimals here. That 5 bumps that to a 10, which bumps this to a 9. 1090 times the payment minus the present value. That is 1288.63 minus 1236. And that's $52.63. That's important, but it's not the answer yet. How many payments did it take me to pay this off? 11, right? 10 and then some. Just that last payment was not a full payment. So if I asked you for that, that's how you would answer. Let's go over to this side. Compounding is 365. Payments are 12. Future value. I'm still making $125 payments. Present value is $1186 plus $25. Okay, so that gives me $1211. 14.9. Let's solve for n here. No, sorry. Zero six. Interest be 10.3906 times 125 minus 1211. That's 1298.33 minus 1211. That's 87.83. What is the question asking? The difference in interest. The difference is subtract, right? I will do that on the side here. Difference, I'm just going to go 87.83 minus 52.63. There's a $35 difference. If it asked you which card is better, you would say card A, because overall it cost me less in interest. Even though, watch this, the annual fee was higher, right? Was $50. It still costs you less, because remember, interest is the cost of the loan. That's what you're after, right? And so that's something to watch out for. I want to do a no interest offer where there's 0% interest for a certain amount of time. So let's try this one here. Merrill and Lyle are buying furniture worth $175 on credit. They make, let's make sure this is including taxes. including tax. So make sure you write that down. They can make monthly payments of $75, and they have 2 credit options. Which one should they choose? Hint, the least amount of interest. That's going to be our best choice. Option A is the furniture store credit card. So a lot of stores have their own credit card. Home Depot, the Brick, they have their own credit card. Obviously, they have like MasterCard do it for them, but they have their own credit card, which is offering a $100 rebate off the purchase price and an interest rate of 18.7% compounded daily. That's your first option. Option B, a new credit card with an interest rate of 15.4% compounded daily, but no interest during the first year. Let's compare those 2 options. Please fill in as much as you know. Because remember, you get a decent amount of marks if you get all of them right, you get 100%. If you can get all of them right except for one, you still get a decent amount of marks. You get 1.5 out of 2. So your goal is try to get as many of them right as you can. I'll give you a chance to do it. Fill in as much as you already know. And this is real life. This is a real life situation, guys. That's why I like talking about credit cards. Compounding is $365. Payment, we're making a monthly payments, but don't think it's always monthly, please. Credit cards, for the most part, are. So we're making $75. It's supposed to be negative because you're giving it to them. Present value, watch this. It's $1,075. Option A gives you a $100 rebate. If you see the word rebate, that means that they're giving you money back. Okay? So this rebate, we take it away from the present value. It's as if you're paying off $100 right off the top. So that's $975. This is the rebate. If you want to write it down in your notes, the $100 rebate. And then it's 18.7% interest. Let's figure out what N is. $14.6542. So about 15 payments, and because the payments are monthly, you could also say about 15 months, right? We'll do the interest in a bit. I want to do this one as well. This one is a little different, so pay attention to this one when it comes to the PV. We're also making $75 payments. What's going to go into the PV, guys? $1,075 minus, if you have a year interest free, you're going to go 12 times 75. You know what? Can I erase this? Sorry, guys. Some of you are going to be mumbling at me right now, I know. First year, 0 interest. Okay, they don't charge you any interest, which means that the 12 payments made, all of the $75, the entire $75 is going to go towards paying off what you owe them. They're not going to take any interest off of that. So let's do that on the side. That's 12 times 75. You paid off $900 the first year. All of it went towards paying it off. So this number right here, that's what we're going to take off, because it's only the rest that you will be charged interest on after that first year. That amounts to $175. The rest is then you charge interest, 15.4. We're going to figure this out. Everything else stays the same. That's 2.3845. So, Mr. Erickson, did it only take you 2 months to pay this off? 3 months? No, you paid a year, and then another 2.3 payments, right, where they charged you interest. Just keep that in mind.
Excuse the interruption. Mr. Cueto, please contact the office. Mr. Cueto, to contact the office, please.
So let's do the interest. This would be 14.6542 times 75 minus 975. Let me move that up for folks in the back there. This is the equivalent of 124.07 interest. Interest here is going to be 2.3845 times 75 minus 175. Guess what? You only paid $3.84 in interest, which is a pretty darn good deal, right? So option B is best. It's asking which one should they choose. Choose option B, right? Less interest. Less interest paid. That's really what it is all about, guys. It's not about the payment. It's ultimately about the least amount of interest when it comes to a loan. And I want you to be able to do these things, okay? And just so you know, I know you're going to have a hard time letting go of this calculator by the end of the semester. But TVM Solver, you can Google it. You can download an app. I'm sure there's an app on your phones like TVM Solver. It does the exact same thing that our calculator does. Okay, so you can always use this once you're out of high school. Okay, I'm going to stop here. This is my credit card segment.